What is up? Welcome in here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. It's a special live edition of Enter the Jungle. He's Andrew Fox Miller. I'm James Rapien. And you know what these live, Andrews, it's been a few weeks since we've done a live, I feel like, but there's plenty of Bengals to discuss live here on Enter the Jungle. This is when you were supposed to talk.
Right? Sorry, I was getting an audio loop from this is why we do the technical stuff live. Why not? This is how
we're getting
a few weeks and we're already rusty. A few weeks and what?
We're like the Bengals defense, right?
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say
poor defense. Oh my goodness. See, but I'm on offense, so I'm definitely going to take the attack to you. You're going to be backpedaling and trying to stop the run, but you can't. Just giving up explosive runs all over the place. On today's show, we're going to do a little stock up, stock down. I have some names. I wonder who Andrew has. If Andrew names someone that I'm expecting, well, guess what? There are plenty of other stock up, stock down people and players that, I'll say people that we can put in there. We might be able to get a little bit on Risner at some point towards the end of the show. We're going to do that. But just a reminder, this is a recording that we do for FanDuel Sports Network every single week. It airs multiple times during the week. So what we'll do is we'll record our show and then we'll come out of it. We'll answer a few questions. It's going to be a quicker live today than you're used to, but I promise we'll get back into the groove. Just from a schedule standpoint, I got to go tackle Dalton Risner and not let him leave town, which probably wouldn't go well for me, but it's going to be really funny if he ends up signing with the Bengals. So there you go.
Oh my gosh. I would love to see that.
I'll tackle you. I know that much.
Put it this way: there will be a visible effort. I will have no doubt that you put a lot of effort into the attempt.
I actually would. I would want no part of that. I would want no part of tackling one of those linemen. They're huge. That being said, all right, let's dive in. Some stock up, some stock down. Stock up is definitely going to be. Well, I'm not even going to stake. All right, let's get this show on the road. You ready?
Everyone, Dalton Risner. We know we'll address that. We have to.
We are going to get to Risner. I promise. Yep. But this show is it's got to be a little more evergreen. Like Risner could sign tomorrow with a team, right? And if he does, we need this early part especially to be evergreen to hold up. So I promise we're going to get to Dalton Risner if that's what you're looking for, and I can discuss what I know. So, all right, you ready?
Ready.
All right. No music. We'll just do it.
Recording.
Bengals preseason game number 2 is in the books. The starters, their preseason should be over. Whose stock is up? Whose stock is down? Plus, how concerned should we be about Al Golden's defense? We'll get into all of that right now on Enter the Jungle.
Yeah, you really got to get down the vocal intro. You're working through
it. I actually forget exactly how does it go? I can't even tell you right now.
But I'd blow up my microphone if I did it properly.
That's right. So don't do it. All right.
Yeah.
Hi again, everyone, and welcome in to Enter the Jungle. He's Andrew Fox Miller. I'm James Rapien, and you can catch us every single Tuesday at 8 Eastern on the YouTube channel, Cincinnati Bengals Talk Weekly on FanDuel Sports Network. And shout out to our sponsors, FanDuel. Shout out to Lake Spur Marketing and Garage Beer as well. We're part of the Big Play Network. Let's dive in, Andrew. We're 2 preseason games in. Joe Burrow should be retired from the preseason for 2025. Should be retired from the preseason, as should all of the Bengals starters. Everyone that is in pen as a Bengals starter should be done. And so it's a good time for some stock up, some stock down. Who's rising? Who's falling? And so you knew this. Preseason standouts for you. Who's the player, the coach, that stands out the most that you think is on the rise?
I think, okay, I'm going to take an easy way out for this one. Let's just get this one out of the way. Based on that Commanders game against the Bengals, Trey Hendrickson is winning this one. He's a winner. He's stock up. He's standout, whatever you want to call it. Trey Hendrickson has gained a lot in the last 24 hours at the time of this recording.
Yeah, at the time of any recording.
Sure, look, of course.
Trey Hendrickson's valuable.
You didn't think it was possible, but it's still happening. And he's not even on the field.
Valuable. You know what he's not going to help with? And I love Trey. He's not going to help with the 40-yard run where no one's in the right gap, no one's in the right, they better figure that out. And a lot of that is technique. I don't think it's scheme. I don't think Al Golden's telling them a bad way or poor way to defend the run. More on that. But no, I didn't even think of Trey Hendrickson, but it's a good one. It is a good one for sure.
And we'll talk on the flip side of that as we talk about players that are stock down, flameouts, whatever we want to call it. But let's get this other one out of the way. Speaking of recency bias, I suppose, but the fact remains that Mitchell Tinsley is looking very likely to make this roster, assuming they get it like worked out in terms of the overall positions and how they're going to sort this out. But 5 passes, 73 yards, and then obviously the 2 touchdowns that were extremely impressive. He's gotten a lot of good word of mouth leading up to this. You've seen him at camp. I've seen the highlights, but it wasn't on my radar quite like this, James. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
Next year during preseason or during training camp, we need to get a lock, and you can lock it in. Maybe we should do that. We just do that gimmick every single week. He's a lock. He's a roster lock. He's as much of a roster lock as honestly, name anyone. Name anyone. Trey Hendrickson, roster lock, right? They're not going to trade him. I'd be shocked if they did. Watch, they'll trade him now. But Mitch Tinsley is going to make this team. Joe Burrow went out of his way to praise him a few weeks ago. And that's when my eyebrow went up like, oh, because he had made some plays, but he's still working. And I'm like, oh, and then he makes some more plays. And then he has a game like that. Like there's zero chance he makes it through waivers. There is no chance. So if you think there's anything in there and any kind of potential, any kind of anything. And by the way, Zach Taylor calls him a baller. I think he's making the roster. And the thing that stood out to me the most outside of the highlight reel catches, which tipping a pass to himself in the middle of the field and having the concentration to catch it, flipping back with a complete 360 essentially to catch a back shoulder, and then the fade where he gets tap both feet down in the end zone for back-to-back touchdowns. I mean, he won them the game on Monday night. 1. 2, Joe Burrow says, I sure hope so, when asked if Mitch secured his spot on the roster. When Joe Burrow says that and you're a fringe roster guy, that's pretty important, I would say.
It's certainly not on the stock up list for this particular moment, but I guess credit where credit is due. You talk about those Mitch Tinsley touchdowns, but Jake Browning, great ball placement there. Great game overall for Jake Browning, especially compared to after what we saw in week 1 of the preseason. But yeah, absolutely. And speaking of skill players, feel free to add who you want, of course. I don't mean to just jump in on this, but thinking of wide receivers, I figure I'll just feed what you enjoy here, and that is Charlie Jones. I mean, it's not a huge surprise, but 4 passes, caught 4 passes for 32 yards and a touchdown. But the guy looks rejuvenated, and I don't think there was ever a risk of him not making the roster. It was his job to lose, it felt like, and he certainly has made a case for why he should be on this team.
Wide receiver 4. That's the job he just won. And that's going to hurt some feelings because a lot of people thought that Jermaine Burton was in the running for wide receiver 3 with Andre Yosevach. That was never a thing. But I don't know how you can look at what Charlie's done all camp long, not just for a little bit, but all camp long. And then he gets in the game and he makes a big play to extend the drive. And then he makes that touchdown play. He's going to make this team, but he's going to matter on offense. And all that really is going to matter for him is staying healthy, because he's a really good route runner. He has good hands. He has some inside-outside flex where he can play inside, but obviously he's going to be a slot guy as well. And he certainly has the confidence. I think that's the big thing, is he just feels like himself again physically. I've talked to him about it. So yeah, his stock is up. His stock is up, and a couple more stock ups. And a lot of them are on offense. You're going to notice a theme here. A lot of them are on offense. I'm going to go with the skill guy first, and then I'm going to get to a rookie. Chase Brown has been like, you thought he was going to be awesome anyway, like everybody did, but he's just getting so many touches. He's featured so much. He's catching passes out of the backfield. He's catching little lollipops from Joe Burrow in the backfield as well the other night. And he's just going to get so many touches. I mean, he may lead this team in yards from scrimmage. He may be the more productive Chase from a yardage standpoint. It would not shock me, just because I think they're going to feed him. He's going to be involved in everything. So yeah, Chase Brown stock up.
Yeah, Chase Brown. It's almost like a weekly, we'll call it, thing that I've been putting on social media. I don't need to see much at all. In fact, I don't need to see anything at this point from him, of course. But after a couple of runs, I'm like, get him out. We don't need it. I don't need to see it. I understand the reasoning to a degree, but he's in there much more than I need. Stock is incredibly up because I don't even want to see him touch the field next against the Colts at all for preseason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so. Better not. I don't want to see any of these guys. Well, they're going to touch the field. They're going to be on the sideline sipping Gatorade. Pinky's out. Pinky's out. Maybe sneak them a little garage beer. That's what you do. That's what you do. You sneak them a little garage beer. The last one, and I bet the rookie could slam some garage beers. Dylan Fairchild, stock up. Stock up. Now, it's not rock solid because it's just a couple preseason games. But you got Dylan Fairchild blocking at a really, really high level, and you're thinking about it, and it's like, man, that left side, Dylan Fairchild and Orlando Brown Jr. feels pretty darn good. Fairchild looks the part, and it's only 2 preseason games, and it's limited sample size, and all of those things. All the things that we're going to say about the defense coming up, right? It only reversed. But man, oh man, has it looked good so far. Dylan Fairchild, stock up.
I agree. And you know what? You talk about how you want a lock, you want some sort of prop for this. Just go throw it out there. For the sake of this segment, garage beer. If you've got it, if the means, send us something to lock in these players with a garage beer logo. I'm in on that.
A garage beer logo. Look at that. All right. I like it. I like it. Let's go from the locks and the stock ups and everyone that we just named, I think, is making the team to, well, the guys that are struggling a bit, stock downs, the preseason flameouts. We'll get into those coming up next. What's up, everyone? Welcome in a special live edition of Enter the Jungle. That's one segment down. We just did our stock up. We'll do our stock down. We're going to get to Dalton Risner. I'm sure you're jumping in here because you want to see Dalton Risner and the latest on him. We're going to get to that in a little bit. We have a few things we have to get to. The stock down. I'm curious, Andrew, what your stock down was. You threw me off with the Trey stock up. I was not ready for it. Not going to lie to you.
I know. Oh, that's that's good.
Threw me off in a good way. Like,
yeah.
Name whoever, but I was like, I thought you were describing Mitch Tinsley. Like, let's get this out of the way.
Oh yeah,
and it was Trey Hendrickson and then Mitch Tinsley. Or
checking.
Should I say Mitch Jones, aka Marvin Jones Jr. in that 82.
You keep vamping for a second. I'm just listening back on my audio.
Oh, you want me to keep? You're just listening.
I think
back.
We're good.
I
hope that the chat's going to keep me in check here. Make sure our audio levels are okay. I know it's different, but I think the levels are okay.
The levels.
The levels.
All right.
Stock up Andrew's microphone right now.
Stock down.
Andrew's microphone.
Andrew's technological
Thanks, Dan.
prowess. Audio's fan. Dan,
did you
the man,
change that? What did you do with that? Why does that look different?
I didn't touch anything.
What are you doing? What have you done? What have you done with all my things?
Poor Andrew.
Fixing that now. That's
I didn't touch it once. Do you think I went live. All the live chats I have behind your back. All right, ready?
Yeah. Let me all right. Recording segment 2. What was that? About 9 minutes? The first one?
Something like that. Yep.
All right, I'm ready.
Welcome back to Enter the Jungle. I'm James Rapien. He's Andrew Fox Miller, and this segment is brought to you by Lakespur Marketing. Lakespur Marketing provides themselves on delivering positive and powerful results. They're going to be able to help you in your business. They're a full transparency marketing agency that will be with you every step of the way. Visit lakespurmarketing.com today. And, well, Lakespur Marketing might be able to help some of these guys because stock down. It's time for our stock down report. And, Andrew, you surprised me with stock up. Let's see if you can do it again. Who is really struggling? Whose stock is down right now after 2 preseason games?
No surprises. I'm just going to make a sweeping blanket statement, and I'm not even going to pick out a particular player. There were some people that played well in defense, to be fair. We can get to that in a minute. But ultimately, starters, first team defense specifically, defense, they once again gave up big plays, explosive plays, allowing these huge gaps and large gains on the ground and just not executing. Jaden Daniels walked into that end zone. Walked. And then they were just kind of am I in your way? No. First team defense, all of it.
I think there's far more contact in flag football than there was on that Jaden Daniels touchdown. And I don't understand why. Here's the thing about the defense that irks me. It really irks me is they've played with such energy and swag and trash talk. And you've seen it. I've sent you clips. They're playing. I don't care if it's Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Joe Burrow, who are 3 of the best 20 players on the planet or 30 players on the planet or whatever you want. I don't care that they're over there. We're going to whoop your tail. And they play with all this energy and swag and they're making plays and it's contagious. And then they get out there and they give up, you're right, these huge runs. And those just, one, they can't happen in the regular season because it's going to keep the ball out of Joe's hands. 2, if you're giving up that kind of ground or yards on the ground, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get beat deep. The play action's going to crush it. Like it feels really bad. Now it's still August. You don't press the panic button yet. At least I won't. But yeah, stock down, because whatever I've seen in practice has not translated at all. I mean, they haven't stopped a team in 2 weeks, and they've only faced a first-team quarterback on one of the series that they've been in. One of the 4 series, they've given up points on all 4, 3 touchdowns and a field goal.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think we'll be talking about the defense a bit more, but I have a lot of thoughts about this whole it's preseason mentality. I don't want to get into it right now. What do you have? Who's your stock down?
Stock down. Well, it starts with the linebackers, and I was pretty darn high the starting linebackers, to be clear. So Logan Wilson and Demetrius Knight. I was pretty high on what I saw from them in practice.
Yeah.
But I haven't really liked it. And it's really the front 7. The starting front 7. And the reason I keep saying starting is because Barrett Carter is a stock up guy. We didn't mention him last segment, but he's played very well. He was a standout against the Commanders on Monday night and is someone that it's like, man, the way he tracked that ball, the way he disguised his coverage, the way he was able to intercept it. Afterward, he's saying, oh, man, I should have scored. It should have been an interception. It should have been a pick 6, not just an interception. Love the mentality. But, yeah, we got to see more out of Logan Wilson, who Duke Tobin last month said our defense goes as he goes. Like, that's how important they view him. There's one. You have Demetrius Knight, who they took in the 2nd round for a reason, and he made an awesome one-handed interception. Right? Like in practice. So he's made plays in practice. He's had nice plays in coverage, but man, oh man, has it looked rough in the preseason games. So got to put it together. I'm not burying the linebackers, but I definitely think their stock is down now compared to where it was even a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, Logan Wilson, it's what you see on the field in action, but also sort of being the pseudo quarterback of the defense, right? I mean, it's the confusion that was out there. I don't know if that's a reflection on Logan, but he certainly is in a position where he could be doing things to help the situation. I don't know where it begins and ends in terms of Al Golden either, but Logan Wilson, that's a good one for that reason.
Yeah, I think that's such a key piece. Now, they're playing without BJ Hill. That's going to matter. They're figuring things out without Trey Hendrickson, which, shocker, they better have Trey Hendrickson on the field on September 7th when they play the Cleveland Browns. That needs to happen. But man, it's puzzling that it's been like this. But again, I don't want to completely go in one direction. I think another stock down, and we can go on offense. I think stock down, there's a couple, and it doesn't mean that it has to be like this all year. Lucas Patrick, I think the public is going to say his stock is way down. I'm not sure that's the case. I think he's a lock to make this team, even if they did sign Dalton Risner, which we'll get into. He's versatile. He played better on Monday night than people realize. And as long as he's not hurt, like a Cordell Volson, like some of these other guys, he could be a backup in 3 different spots on game day, both guard spots and center. So I wouldn't put Lucas Patrick there. I'm mentioning him because it was kind of an elephant in the room. Maybe you do. But I'm not there yet on Lucas Patrick. And so offensive line wise, it's like pretty good overall. I'm not really down on anybody, but the one would be Jermaine Burton. Who would have thought that coming into this camp, that if he was doing all of the right things, and I think he is, I'm giving him credit here. He's doing all the right things, but that he would get passed by Charlie Jones and that Andre would clearly be wide receiver 3. And obviously you got Mike Gesicki and now you have Noah Fant. Like, it's going to be hard. It doesn't mean that Jermaine isn't going to get on the field. He's got the ability to return punts and kicks and do all those things, but it just feels like he's got an uphill climb now to make an impact on offense as a wide receiver early in the season.
Yeah, just a series of unfortunate events that in this instance seem to be out of his control, but the facts remain. He's not out there. He's a young player, relatively unproven. And yeah, the opportunities that have been handed, just the way it works, obviously, Jermaine, I'm sure would say the same thing. The opportunities that are out there, people are taking advantage of them. There's nothing he can do about that in this moment, but he certainly can moving forward. So
Do you have any other stock downs? Or are you good? We can dive into the large defensive conversation as well if you want.
yeah, I'm good with either one of those. I mean,
All
you
right.
could argue, you mentioned the Lucas Patrick thing. I wasn't going to put him on that list, by the way. I wasn't going to say anything about right guard, other than the fact that right guard itself not being where it should be. It's not necessarily the player's fault exactly, although sure, there could be improvements there. There's opportunity for improvements. But we're here because of decisions that were made above their heads there, right?
We will
When we talk about
discuss
front office.
the roster in the Dalton Risner possibility as well, coming up in just a few minutes. But up next, let's dive into this defense a bit more and take a look at the Bengals odds in the AFC courtesy of FanDuel. We'll do that coming up next. I don't even know what we were at to start that segment.
We were 12 something. So
okay.
I have to cut that down a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit. When I'm rambling on about Lucas Pat, I could just feel people saying Lucas, and I'm like, I don't think he was that bad.
No, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I thought it crossed my mind. I was like, no, I wouldn't put him on that list. So I didn't even.
Yeah, I think he's fine.
It's probably worth mentioning that.
Yeah, solid backup.
Solid backup. This little banner. I don't know if I would have used it. It cuts off our logo, but we're not recording right now. So, hey everyone, we're seeing tons of the comments, man. I didn't realize how active it was going to be. We've got nearly 400 on YouTube. We've got even more across social media through Twitter, on X. So yeah. Appreciate everyone in here making the comments. There's a lot to catch up on, but we're going to continue recording. These are the shorter segments that we have to do. We have 2 more. In fact, I'm going to switch it back to Garage Beer here and keep the FanDuel logo. And this will be aired on FanDuel Sports Network. Many of you that are in here, I recognize some names and icons that have seen this drill before. Behind the scenes, we'll call it a look, but we're definitely going to engage with a few questions. Ready whenever you are, James.
All right. Welcome back to End of the Jungle. He's Andrew Fox-Miller. I'm James Rapien, and we're going to get to Al Golden's defense in just a second and trust. But a big part of the defense is if the defense does gain our trust, well, the Bengals could end up back in the AFC Championship. And by the way, today's segment brought to you by FanDuel. On Tuesday, August 26th, it's FanDuel Futures Day, a new holiday for football fans. It's 24 hours of deals on all your favorite football season predictions. So take a flyer on the MVP race, or maybe your Super Bowl champion, the Bengals, plus 2,200, by the way, to win the Super Bowl. Mark your calendars. This is your day for your hunches, your hot takes, your calls, and your odds. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now, because Futures Day is one day and one day only. FanDuel, play your game. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG. And Andrew, just so you know, as we dive into the defense here, the Bengals are plus 1,100 to win the AFC. Okay. So they don't have to win the Super Bowl, but if they get to where they were a few years ago, plus 1,100 to win the AFC. If they did do that, obviously it would be because of the offense, but where do you think this defense would have to be for them to get back to reign supreme in the AFC, which to me is the best comp, clearly head and shoulders above the NFC top to bottom?
Yeah, I mean, what if we're going to use the template being the 2024 season? I know that's not entirely fair, but it's what we're going to work with for the moment. How many games were a play away, a score away? What could the defense do in those scenarios? I'm not going to break down every single game of last season. I certainly couldn't if I tried, but I could tell you right now that if this defense is even top 20, you know what I mean? Like maybe even top 25. I like the odds. This offense looked like it could carry just about anything except that defense.
Yeah, I agree. I think, do you give me Dalton Risner in a top 20 defense? Yeah, we're going to get to Dalton Risner in just a second. Like,
do those odds change if he gets added to the team? Just saying.
They probably wouldn't change, but they probably should, right? Yeah. It becomes more of a bargain when you look at it that way. No, I think This defense needs to be opportunistic. They need to play with fire and some swag, make some plays. We haven't seen all of it yet. I've seen it in practice. That's why I'm kind of torn. Will it work? Will it not? We'll see. But they got to get Trey done. That's the big one. The odds will change if they get Trey done. I do think that would happen. Even though I think the sports books believe, FanDuel believes that Trey's going to be on the team. That's how they're forecasting it. Would not shock me one bit if that impacted things. But we mentioned it a few times. Dalton Risner was in town on Tuesday. A deal didn't get done. We'll get to our thoughts on that and what it would mean if by the time you're seeing this, Dalton Risner is a Bengal. We'll do that coming up next. All right. The moment everyone's been waiting for, a little Dalton Risner. Let's dive in. Let's go right to it, Andrew.
Yeah, I'm ready.
What was that? I'm ready.
I know, stretching.
Okay.
Yep, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
That's a clip. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use that as a soundbite. I don't know when.
I'm gonna use you saying it as a soundbite.
No, your impression's even better. I'm gonna get one of those, like I'm gonna do a button with the custom audio and it just hit it whenever. You did it like you were like the B-52s or something.
Yeah. Welcome back to Enter the Jungle. He's Andrew Fox-Miller. I'm James Rapien. And Dalton Risner was in town on Tuesday. And Andrew, a deal didn't get done. Now, if you're watching us on FanDuel Sports Network, a deal could be done at any moment. But Jeremy Fowler of ESPN reporting that Risner visiting the Seahawks may visit the Steelers. How confident are you, Andrew, that this is going to get done in Cincinnati? And how big of a deal would it be?
Well, first of all, to me, it would be a very big deal from where I'm sitting. I know that much, but let's talk about what's happening right now. I've seen people compare it to, this happens all the time. Look at Noah Fant being the more recent example for this team.
Yeah,
I understand that it's similar. I understand that players do this, but the difference is Noah Fant felt like a luxury situation. This feels like a real need. So I can't pretend to know what's going on behind the scenes with the front office or anyone handling any of this negotiation. But I would have to think there would be some level of, we'll call it aggressiveness. I know they don't want to seem needy, but everyone can see what's going on here. I don't know.
And it's late August.
Yeah.
It isn't the beginning of August. Noah Fant's first practice with the Bengals was a practice inside the stadium where it's preseason, right? And you have time. You don't have that luxury. So it's something I would want done by the 23rd, August 23rd or so is their final preseason game against the Colts. If you can get it done by then Risner would have 2 weeks of practice, 2 weeks to get acclimated, 2 weeks to get ready. It would be huge if the Bengals could get this done. We'll see if they do. We're obviously going to have you covered on our YouTube channel, Cincinnati Bengals Talk. So make sure you check us out there. And until next time, for Andrew Fox-Miller, I'm James Rapien. Thank you so much for watching and listening to Enter the Jungle. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere. We'll answer your questions quickly.
I have not been queuing them because I've been doing
this. I've been doing this.
How am I supposed to do? What am I?
You actually talked today is what you mean? You actually talked a little bit on the show today?
That could be. By the way, we didn't have time to cover. I'm pulling up questions now, but let's also talk about the fact that Dalton Risner even had his wife or whatever put the Instagram story out there. Like he had a backpack on saying Who Day, like it was his first day at school. Like where's the disconnect there from the optics and what actually happens when he does this visit? But okay. Let's see here, man. I don't even know where to begin. I've got a lot here. I know we got to make this quick for you, James. Let's see. People are talking about years that they watched and didn't watch.
Look, I will say this. Ahead. Everyone wants to talk about Risner.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen
if it's like, if they're like 200 grand apart or something, and they can't be that far apart money-wise, they just can't. He doesn't have a huge market. He has a market, but not a huge market. Even with the Seattle visit, I mean, these came out of nowhere, right? It's not like we knew about these visits ahead of time. It doesn't feel promising because with Noah Fant, it was like, he's like, I'm going to visit the Bengals. But ahead of time, we knew he had other visits lined up. And all the reporting was based around that. With Risner, You're right. His wife's posting on TikTok and Instagram, and it's like, yeah, who day? We got this visit. And it's like, all right, well, this is it. It felt like, I told Jake this, it felt like very similar to me to the Trent Brown signing. And I don't mean as players. I mean as, oh my goodness, Trent Brown is visiting the Bengals on Sunday. And like, he was there Sunday. By Sunday at 1, physical, signed. He was on a Zoom call with us at 2 or 3. And it might not have been a Sunday. It might have been a Monday. But it happened really quick. Bam, bam, bam. That's kind of how I was expecting this Risner thing to go. And clearly they couldn't agree money-wise. That has to be it. I don't think it was medicals. Based on everything I've heard, medicals are good. So money-wise, they couldn't agree. And to your point, Andrew, this is a need. This isn't a luxury. This isn't something extra. This isn't another this or that. This is the one fly in the ointment when I look at this offense that could really get in the way of it. That and a guard on the other side that's a rookie and unproven. But you could get a guy in Risner that just really balances things out for your offensive line. They need to get this done. It is a need.
It's a good point. You know, how does he suddenly have a mark with other teams? I imagine there's a strategy there. I imagine there's a bit of a waiting game for one reason or another. Maybe he couldn't at the time. Maybe it was a medical. I don't know, but they like to wait things out. Sometimes it's a strategy, right?
Let me ask you this: in your job, do you like to do those training courses, like those continuing education?
Oh, okay, I know where you're going with this. Of course. Well, no, I do because I make them sometimes. I design them sometimes, but I get it. No, yes, I've been in jobs where they're awful.
Yeah,
they're not done well.
In insurance, they suck doing those continuing education courses. They suck. Let's be honest. It doesn't help you do your job any better. You just try to get through them and that's it. Right. And so clearly I'm never going to be able to go back into the insurance industry because I just said that alive, but that's the case. At least that's how I approached it. Well, maybe he didn't want to do all the preseason and all the training camp and he had interest and he's like, let's wait. Or maybe he looked at the Bengals and was like, I got to jump at that opportunity, but I've had possible visits. The way Fowler reported it, it was like, he's going to take a visit with the Seahawks and a possible visit with the Steelers. Maybe he's just trying to get the Bengals to go up and number fine, whatever it is. But again, Saturday is kind of the day now that we're live again. And I can say, talk in a certain way. There's no way if I'm the Bengals, I don't want him signed and in the building for that preseason game, not to play in it, but to be on the sideline, to be around the guys, to start getting in the playbook, to start working with Scott Peters. So you have a full 2 weeks before the start of the regular season to get acclimated to life as a Bengal, because he's going to start at right guard if they sign him. I would be floored and stunned if he didn't, because he would be their best option.
I'm going to leave this one up here just for a moment. And I know we need to wrap here soon, James, but I got this. I got to get this off my chest. We didn't really dig into this on the recording, but I need your thoughts on this. And maybe this is what we'll close out on. I'm not sure yet, but, and I'm going to say this about the entire, the game itself. We'll talk about the defense as a whole, not just that one particular play when they're talking about Jaden Daniels running the touchdown and Jordan Battle doing this move or whatever. I was perplexed. I still kind of am, but I'm thinking of the bigger picture in this defense in the preseason in general, because I'm seeing the conversations out there. I'm hearing things both on a national level, but I'm also seeing the conversations with fans on social media. And the thing that I'm so confused by, for me personally, all I want out of preseason is to get a glimpse of what's to come, to witness some sign of fixing what needed to be fixed in the previous season, right? So sure, watching players, roster battles, all that, I enjoy that too.
Yep.
But ultimately, if you're playing your starters, as a fan, I'm going to be watching and setting at least some level of expectation, right? Okay. Do I think this defense is going to play like this in week 1 of regular season? I don't know. But all I know is Zach Taylor played his starters on defense. I'm not a deep dive analytical fan. I follow the game, but I'm not trying to be an NFL scout or coach. Maybe my observations can be taken with a grain of salt. Okay. I saw the missed tackles. I saw players on the defense confused, running into one another. I saw starters giving up those rushing, 118 yards on 7 carries. So you can sit here and say it's preseason. Bengals fans were saying it on social media. Zach Taylor said it's preseason. I'd love to downplay a performance like that. And there are individual moments in a game where I can, but there's not enough. I don't know. The Bengals played their starters because they didn't want to slow start the season, right? So if that's the case, they put their starters out there. If you're going to put them out there, even if it's just for them to gain a feel for the pacing of competitive football, do we excuse them for not being competitive, for missing tackles, for exhibiting the same flaws that we saw last season? It's just preseason. Then why play them at all? Like the NFL is a multi-billion-dollar league, James. I'm sure they could coordinate teams to meet up and play flag football or just walk through plays with no contact against each other. They could do that just like that Jaden Daniels touchdown. So I don't know. I get the vanilla. Al Golden's doing vanilla, not open up the playbook. Fine. But once again, why put the starters out there at all if we're just going to do that exercise?
Because they weren't supposed to do that exercise. He was supposed to hit the hell out of them. That's why I was so I was super critical on social media about it. Because I love how Jordan's played all camp. I love it. He's played with swag. He's played with energy. He's played with, not only is he trash talking, but he's making plays and he's physical and he's got an edge to him. And then he goes out there and he takes a weird angle and fine, take a weird angle, but still make sure you tackle him. And he didn't. And so that sums up. It's not just Jordan. Obviously he's taking the brunt of it because that's a ridiculous play that
I'm talking about everybody. Yes. But yes.
Like think about, I was trying to name, I don't want to be mean to some former Bengal, right. But I was thinking like some former Bengal, like would obviously make that play, right? That's retired. Like just go play football. And right now it just with the missed assignments, much like last year on defense. And that's what it is. Like some of those runs and we've seen some of that. Like I was thinking back today, like there's been times in practice and running the ball in NFL practices are different because it gets blown dead very quickly.
I lost your signal.
I know.
Oh, did you not plug in your camera? Did that flame out?
No, it did. We're good. I'm coming back. It does that sometimes. I had just recorded Locked On too.
I haven't seen that happen before.
Yeah, I know. It's been weird. It's done that a few times recently. It may do it again. Who knows? But anyways, I've noticed the defense give up some big runs to Chase Brown, like big holes.
Yeah.
I'm like, and it gets blown dead after 10 yards or whatever because he gets touched. Like you never would have been tackled, but touched. You got to fix that. Got to fix that. You don't have BJ Hill, but like if this defense is getting gashed on the ground, well, then the secondary isn't going to have a chance. And I kind of believe in the secondary. Like I think Dax Hill and Cam Taylor-Britt did it again. I'm just going to keep talking. Dax Hill and Cam Taylor-Britt, all those guys, like I think that they've had a solid camp and are going to be okay. But man, we'll see. So I'll get my camera back in a second. But go, you talk.
No, yeah. That's the thing. We talk about like just preseason in general. I get the downplaying of it. But what else are we supposed to think? I guess is my point. I understand. I try not to put too much stock in certain things, but when I'm seeing what I saw previously, I'm still in a prove me like until I see otherwise mode. And until I see otherwise, I'm going to have concerns about this defense. And I think things will get better. And maybe that's just me being optimistic, but I just don't know how long it will take. Is it going to take half the season? Are we going to run into a situation like we did last season where it's going to be, November, December, things start showing signs of life? I don't know, but I hope that it's going to be much sooner, and I'm just going to blindly be optimistic that maybe it could be, but yeah, I don't know. Before we do wrap,
all right, hold on. I want to shoot this guy down. Actually, golf is a Timu Andy Dalton. So kick rocks, Steven.
Whoa.
Kick rocks, Steven.
Look at you. You get that camera back on and you're just like shot out of a cannon.
Got time for that.
Golf. You got any more you want to address before we wrap? Lucas wants to know if he can just say bye as we end.
Oh yeah, he can. No, I know he's trolling Sean. I figured I would do that. It was pretty funny.
Yeah. Shout out, did come in like hard, like you were really mad at Steven.
No,
like,
not at all.
I know. You come up like I know you, but
yeah. That's true. But anyways, appreciate everybody for watching. And
Lucas is gonna wave bye.
All right, yeah, Lucas, come wave bye.
We should probably have done this on like a standard, maybe not on air, but we're good.
The camera?
Yeah, right there.
Oh.
You sound like me in college when I tried to get on. I was like, "Where's the camera?"
Wait.
He can't hear you. He can't hear you.
No, it's okay. It's all right. Everybody else can. It's all right.
I'm not saying bye. I'm saying hi.
Got it.
Right.
Well,
I'm famous. Wait, no, I gotta wear that.
That's my favorite.
All right. Don't clip this big play.
Yes, absolutely clip it.
Oh, God.
For Andrew Fox Miller and Lucas Miller, I'm James Rapien. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk to you soon here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk.
Yeah.